We're still in the workshop. I was supposed to be in the South Island. But something on Monday happened, which I sort of knew was going to happen at some point. But it hasn't happened for 2 years. I thought I was doing pretty well. I got an email. I always get emails. But I got a particular email. And that email said, you need to stop. And I was already stopped because I don't read emails while I'm driving. So I read the email. It said I had to take a COVID test immediately. I thought, oh, really? Maybe I should just get to where I'm going first. I was on my way to Napier. I'd just left Taupo after fueling up and getting a pie and a coffee, which was nice. I thought, no. If I test positive, I've only got to go home anyway. So let's test now. And you know the process of the tests. We've all done them. And this is a nasal test. And I dripped some of the fluid into the little test pot thing and slowly just watched with anticipation as the fluid slowly soaked across the paper element, whatever it is in there. And there's two lines, there's two positions for lines. One is the test and one is the control. And it goes past the test one first and then it goes past the control. And as the fluid passed over the test area, there was instantly, on the edge of the fluid, there was an instant positive test showing the red line. It was bright red. And at that point in time, I thought, bugger. Well, that's my plans changed then, isn't it? So I went home. And on the way home, I rang Mrs. Mechanic and I said, you need to take a test. And she did. And she was negative. And that sort of threw us into a bit of a dilemma. Do I go home? Do I live in the truck? Is she going to catch it anyway? I've been at home for 3 days. So we took a punt. And I said, look, we've done a lot of stuff together over the last 3 days. I'm not going to elaborate. If you're going to catch it, you probably already have it. So if you're happy, I'm coming home and we'll just ride through this storm together. Hey, it's been a bit of a storm, but not as severe as we thought it was going to be. Anyway, just to clarify, as per the thumbnail, that's the test. Look at that. 2 lines. First time ever I've had 2 lines on a little plasticky didgeridoo thing. Yeah. Surprising how it suddenly turns your world upside down because, you know, everybody says, it's all good, don't worry about it, it's fine, you'll be all right. It's just a cold, right? Ooh, last night's tea. But what's become very, very clear, and this isn't a live stream about COVID for sure, because YouTube don't like that kind of stuff, but this is my own experience over the last 7 days. And it seems to affect everybody differently. So I think it was, and we know that now, we've known that for a long time. People reporting different symptoms and some being really poorly and some not really being poorly at all. But it's that element of unknown. You're stepping into the darkness. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what was going to happen to Mrs. Mechanic. Was one of us going to get rushed to hospital? Who knows? I mean, I had pneumonia many years ago, and I also have asthma. So, sort of high risk. I haven't got a lighter. Oh well. So, are things okay? Yeah. Mrs. Mechanic got hit a bit harder than I did, but I think, she seemed to be a lot more flu-like. Me, the main thing was headaches. Really bad headaches. And just feeling knackered and lethargic. Anyway, let me get the live stream fired up on my laptop so I can see who's in the workshop. Let's do a refresh. Oh, and something else. Thinking. Thinking is a lot harder now. It's weird. Really got to concentrate. I've spent much of this last week, even though I've been on sick leave, I've spent pretty much, I would say, 6 to 7 hours a day doing admin work, trying to catch up because, that's just the nature of the beast. And that admin work requires you to write emails and communicate with people and process stuff on screen, and it's been really hard. You have to double check everything and reread everything and make sure you've not done dumb stuff. And on a regular basis, I was finding I was doing dumb stuff. It's weird, isn't it? Really weird. Anyway, to the live stream. Enough of my dribble, or drool in this case. Just bear with me, people. We've got very, very slow internet, and it started to rain, and I haven't got a lighter, which is a bit of a problem. I need a lighter. Why have I not got a lighter? Let's go and find a lighter. Bugger, hang on. While the old laptop's firing up, let's go and find a lighter. Okay. Where would I have kept a lighter? Ah. Oh, that might work. Yeah, that'll do. Is it going to fire up? Oh, yes. Perfect. Right. Oh, I've brought my, just for interest, I've brought the Husqvarna box back in, which is all finished. So I thought I'd show you what I've done. I didn't make a video. I wasn't feeling particularly good on Sunday, to be fair. Just tired, not full of cold and, you know, stuff. So, I don't know. So you'll have to forgive me a bit on this live stream. It's a little bit different. I feel a bit, I don't know, just not all there. Oh, and recently, it might just because it's muggy, I don't know, but man, do I sweat. Last couple of days, it's been, unless you're doing nothing, as soon as you start to do anything energetic, like, you know, emptying the workshop of all the bikes and getting ready for a live stream, it just drips. It's everywhere. It's a nightmare. Oh, and cigarettes, there weren't any for the first couple of days, and then I succumbed. Breathing was my you know, my real fear was how it was going to affect my breathing, because my lungs are probably the weak point in my defenses. And I'm happy to say, the first couple of days it sort of felt a bit heavy to breathe, but that might have been, you know, psychological, I don't know. But it really, touch wood, I haven't got any wood, to touch wood, it hasn't really affected the breathing side of things. Oh, my internet is terrible. Okay, as long as I get the comments, that's all that matters. If you guys could let me know what the audio and visual is like at your end, pretty sure it should be okay. I was going to do a speed test, but in fact, I'll do a speed test. I want to see how crap this is. Let's have a look. Speed test. Now, the laptop, for those that don't know, the laptop is interneted by my mobile phone, and the outgoing live stream gets onto the internet through the Vodafone rural broadband for the workshop, which is infinitely better than what I get on my phone. So that's how I have to do it. I have to have two separate internet connections. It just means that what I can see on the laptop sometimes is really, really, really crap. But it means that you should get a good connection at least. Holy moly, it took about 15 seconds to load that page up, and it's still loading now, actually. Okay, while that's loading, I'm going to go, I just want to press the go button. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. It's gonna be a weird live stream. We have got a pie, which is a good thing. Right, go. You need to watch this. Turn you around. 3, 2, 1, boom. Honestly, live stream test. I did press go, and it's got the wheel of death. It's that bad. Go. Let's try again. Waiting for speed test. No, that's boring. Could not. Oh, crap. Oh dear, oh dear. Bear with me. Right, we'll get back to the normal service will resume very shortly. 21 viewers getting pissed off at me at the moment. Right, we'll go back to that. Yeah, everything's on the ground to a halt. Okay, comments. Let's do some comments. Oh, did I get a sore throat? No, not really. Definitely not the cough, anyway. We have Simon Rawle. Morning, Andy and crew. How are you feeling? Hot and sweaty, to be honest, and just knackered and sweaty, basically. Roger Heaps, good morning, Andy and crew. Hope you have recovered. I wouldn't say I've recovered. I haven't tested recently. I'm going to test tomorrow because I've only got so many tests left on, at home, so I don't want to use them all up. And of course, Mrs. Mechanic needs some as well. So I'll test tomorrow, and I mean, realistically, I did test on Thursday and was still positive, and it was a strong positive, not quite as strong as it was in the car. Whether that makes any difference, and how quickly it changes on the tester, I don't know. But it took a little bit longer to turn positive, or to. It was an instant line, but it wasn't as bright. How's that? There's a definitive answer for you. So yeah, I don't feel horrendous. I feel okay. I've set my stall out today to do some more work on the RRV. I need to get out of the house. I planned to go out yesterday. It's pouring down the rain. Felt like shit, so we did some work inside the house, putting some kits together and stuff, nuts and bolts and bits and pieces, which took us about 3 hours to do. But we got them all done, and it's another job ticked off. Since then, oh yeah, the internet's terrible. Since then, I've had another RRV booking for a service and repairs as well, which is up in Auckland. So I'm going to be pretty busy up to Christmas now anyway. Mike Bazansky! There he is, Mr. Mike. Good morning all. Army Navy football game today. Oh, very good. As a former Marine, I have to say, go Navy beat Army. I reckon so. Does that stand for GNBA? Go Navy beat Army. I'll be wishing you well with that one, Mike. Good luck. Oh, and thank you very much again for what you did for me earlier in the week. It is much appreciated. Thank you. You know what I'm talking about. I did send you a message, by the way, but it was a bit delayed. Sorry, I wasn't thinking straight. Virginian Governor. Good evening, Andy and family. How is Queenstown? Watching from South Africa. Well, as you can see, Queenstown is probably okay. I'm not there, which is the only problem. Realistically, I'm very pleased I got that email. Realistically, I'm pleased that I found out when I did find out and not once I was on the ferry. A lot of things could have gone wrong. And I mean, I must admit, driving on the Monday morning didn't have flu-like symptoms, just felt crap. Really crap and tired. But hey, I've been working all weekend and I thought, well, I need to crack on. I've got a very busy schedule to get done and man up, But as it turned out, the email came through and here we are, basically, which is good. I mean, I would not want to have gone through what I've gone through or not been with Mrs. Mechanic, who probably would have turned positive anyway, been away from home. It would have been a problem. And all that driving and stuff, who knows what could have happened. Good call. Killswitch BB, hi Andy and crew. What's new in the world? Well, I'm a statistic now, aren't I? I probably was beforehand, but I am now, and part of the big C group. Ted McConaughey, hello from New Mexico, US of A. Good morning, Ted. Welcome back to the workshop. Sorry it's not Queenstown, but I think I've already explained why. Igor Zdravskis. Good day. Good morning, Igors. Roger Heaps. I still haven't had it. Good man. I was starting to think that me and Ben were almost naturally immune to it, because you start thinking, well, especially for me. I mean, well, both of us, we meet a lot of people every day in the course of our work, and neither of us had it up until a couple of weeks ago. Ben got it, and then I got it. And there's been no contact between me and Ben at all. He's up in Auckland and I'm down here. And even when I was in Auckland, I didn't go and see him. He caught it a while. Oh, hang on, we've got a message. Bear with me. What's going on? Who's texting me, messaging? No, it's all good. Oh, Daniel. Daniel sent me some pictures. Hang on, bear with me. Things take a bit longer to process at the moment. Right, it's downloading the pictures. We'll leave that for a little bit, Daniel. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you too. So, where were we? Hang on. Where do we get to? So, yeah, stay safe, Roger. But who knows? You're probably going to get it at some point. Sheldon Rush. Good morning, Sheldon. Now, Sheldon and I communicate on a regular basis through work. Yay, Lord Andrew is here. Funny. I did watch a video, actually. I think Roger sent me it. Somebody sent me it. Regarding that, what was it called? I forget. Anyway, the lordship thing, and the bit of land in Scotland that I bought. It was quite a long video by a sort of lawyery type YouTuber guy, and he obviously did his research, he knew his shit, and is it a scam? It pretty much is. Don't buy any land in Scotland. Not through them anyway. But bit of fun. Was it still worth it? Yeah, it was a bit. You know, got a certificate coming. It's going to be a lord. Sort of. Hilarious. Now, where do we get to? Vijay, Andy, you need to take lots of vitamins and get lots of fluids and fresh air and keep your spirits up. My prayers are with you and your family. Thank you very much, Vijay. I'm going to be alright. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be alright. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Simon, you did look a bit red-eyed last Sunday. Oh, maybe. Maybe I hadn't noticed, to be honest. The Giant, all good. My side, thank you. Excellent, thank you, the Giant. Daniel Bedell, I'm sorry I'm late, mates. Daniel, all good, mate. I'm just glad I'm here as well. Mrs. Mechanic said, are you really going to do a live stream? And I said, well, yeah, I think I am actually going to do a live stream. I know I feel knackered, but I need to do something. And there's a lot of people out there that want to know what's going on, because I should be in Queenstown right now. Mike Adams. Ooh, hang on, we'll scroll down a bit more. Mike Adams says, howdy, y'all. Is that pretty good? Y'all. Worst impression ever. Listening in while taking a break from replacing the Hydro Boost booster and brake mass cylinder on my Dodge. Cool. I used to teach those at Unitec, Hydro boosters. That's the one that uses, isn't that the one that uses power steering pressure, power steering fluid pressure from the power steering pump to provide assistance to your brakes as opposed to vacuum from the engine? I think so, but I'm just double checking, it's a while since I taught that. And I've never worked on one. Daniel, hello Mrs. Mechanic, Andy and everybody. No problem, Daniel. Good morning, sir. Daniel was talking with my fiance. Nice. Mike Adams. Worst part of the job is having to be a contortionist. That's a hell of a word for a Sunday morning. To get the mounting nuts under the dash. Yeah, man. Any under dash work now. I remember working in the little Suzuki Jeeps lying on my back. I used to take the driver's seat out because it was like so quick to do. And then I would lie on my back. I'd usually chuck some kind of old cushion down on the floor and lie my back under the dash. It wasn't too bad, but there was a ridge in the floor, which was like a mount for the front part of the seat. Used to stand proud about 3 inches, and that would always dig into your back. And I'm sure that's one of the things that's knacking my back over the years. You know, you'd sort of get semi-comfy, but it was digging in all the time. It'd be doing wiring or whatever, you know, and it was, you'd be focusing on what you were doing and putting up with the pain. Not good. Under dash stuff, try and stay away from that. The last one I did was Ben's Ute, doing his clutch. Yeah, that was fun. Got it fixed though. Stuart Martindale, very nice name. Stuart Martindale. Hey up. Very different. How's Mrs. Mechanic getting on with the monkey bike? She hasn't ridden it for a while. She's done a test ride. That one big ride that we did. I say big. It was a day's ride. It was good fun. Hasn't ridden it since. We do need to get back out again and get some more practice in. The trip is scheduled for March, end of March. I think it's going to be now. Not entirely sure. We'll see how things pan out. But it's definitely going to happen. I'm very much looking forward to doing it. Really am. Stuart, we've had the first snow of the season today in Lancashire. I did read on the old interweb thing that England was pretty damn chilly. Or was it Mum? Mum actually emailed me, that's right. Hi Mum. And said that it was -3 at the time and there was snow forecast, and I read that yesterday morning. So there you go, the snow's turned up. She'll be ecstatic. She doesn't like snow. She likes snow in pictures and paintings, but not in reality, really. Just gets in the way. And she's old. well, she won't mind me saying that because she is so pretty old. I mean, I'm old, so I mean, she's going to be really old. She's not really old, but she's old, you know. Sorry, Mum. Dug a hole. Killswitch BB. Smash the like button, peeps. Cheers, Killswitch. Appreciate it. I always forget. Now then. Daniel, my mother made the signs. Oh, hang on. These could be the pictures that he sent through. Bear with me, people. Oh, and a video. Oh, look at that. Right. Daniel's mum made these. Look at that. Nice. Very nice. That looks like it's... Oh, yeah, it's been drawn. Hand drawn. Very good. I like that. And there's a bit more of an overview photo. Good job, Daniel. And he's got a video. So we're going to watch a video now. You guys do go over the top with your Christmas stuff, don't you? Look at that.
Not exactly quite done.
Holy moly! If you did that round here, I thought it'd get nicked overnight. Somebody's got a lot of time on his hands.
The ladders are. So I can put stuff up around the windows and all the roof.
Oh, I don't have time for that kind of stuff. Good job, Daniel. Well done. Where did we get to? I forget. Plug that back in again. Okay, you can hear the rain. It's pouring down now. Well, I'm going to be working under the carport today, but we'll get done when we get done, right? That's the way it is. Mrs. Mechanic said you shouldn't be working at all. I cannot not work. I can't. I'll try and speak up. Sorry about the rain. Nothing I can do about it, obviously. Like Adams, you sound like me, Andy. No matter how sick, injured or tied I am, I can't stand to sit when everything I need to do and want to do is rushed through my mind. Yes. I think I've been pretty good this week, to be honest, in not doing stuff outside. But I have been busy doing admin, like I said earlier on. Yesterday was a pain, but when we found that job that we had to do, putting the kits together, which was like nuts and bolts and fasteners and bits and pieces, that sort of gave us something to do for a few hours. I'd done my work for the day. Connor K. Morning, Connor. Connor says, good morning, Andy and crew. A statistic. Welcome to the club. I got it in July this year. Some food smelled like ammonia for a while. Sense of smell hasn't really been affected, but what I will, and neither's taste. Food, there's still taste there. What I will say is, my mouth has felt really weird. The taste in my mouth has been very, very odd indeed. And Ben's had the same issue, where it's almost like just leathery and, you know. And I regularly brush my teeth now just to try and get rid of the taste, and it doesn't work. Lasts about 5 minutes and it's gone again. Drinking cider doesn't help. You know, it's momentary and then it's back. Although I will say that the cider tasted incredibly sweet, a lot sweeter than I've ever had cider before. So whether that's a reaction to what's going on at the moment, I don't know. It was a bit odd, to be honest. I didn't actually enjoy most of the cider. It was just too sweet. The Giant. Andy, I just remembered, you need to take... The hell's that? Ivermectin tablets, please. It helped me. I haven't taken anything other than headache tablets, to be honest, to date. There's nobody in the household that's allowed to travel, really. We shouldn't be going anywhere. We don't want to spread it. So it is what it is. We've got what we've got. We're hanging in there. We're both on the road to recovery, I believe. Mrs. Mechanic felt a lot better yesterday than the day before. Although she's not right. She really isn't right. And I'm not right, if I'm honest. Anyway. But no, thank you for that. I'll bear that in mind. Roger Heaps will send Mrs. Mechanic a video of the new piglets later. Oh, that'll cheer her up. She likes those videos. She likes little piglets. She doesn't like knowing what's going to happen to them, Roger, but she does like little piglets. Daniel Bedell, what do you think about the pics and video I sent you? Very cool, Daniel. Very cool indeed. I hope you didn't mind me sharing them with the group. I think you put a lot of effort into doing that, and I just don't have the inclination, time, no idea to do anything like that at the moment. Roger, be good to be here around the start of March, my birthday bash. Ooh, that sounds like a plan, doesn't it? Let's see what's going to happen. I know I've delayed my trip to the South Island. I think it's going to have to happen before then, but we'll see how things pan out. Who knows what's round the corner. Mike Adams, yes. And if the power steering, I was right. If the power steering pump that's operated through the vacuum pump operates the whole system, if the steering pump fails or is out of fluid, if you have to stop, you're just along for the ride. Wow. Okay, so no power steering fluid pressure, and of course, no assisted brakes. Interesting. Now then, and I suppose you don't. Oh, it probably has a. Does it have a spherical reservoir on there to hold pressure? So you get at least a couple of actuations of brake pedal, like you do with a vacuum booster. Sorry, brake servo English. Which still works a little bit even when you've got no vacuum because of the one-way valve. Is there like a safety feature in there? I think from memory there was a sphere that would store pressure. So you did, from memory, I think you do get a couple of actuations, or at least one actuation of your brakes, then it starts to fade from there. And you've got to press a hell of a lot harder. Oh, we're back. Sorry, people. That was like Apollo 13 trying to get back online there. It said reconnecting, and then it failed to reconnect, but it asked me if I wanted to try again, so I did, and hey presto, here we are. So my apologies. The good news is it's pretty much stopped raining. Bad news is the internet's obviously pretty bad. Anyway, so I went to Saab for a day trip with all my fellow students. Now, I was a student at the time. This wasn't when I was lecturing. This was many years ago. And around the building, they had a bit of a test tracky thing, which was good because it went through the car park at the front, which was interesting. And we were talking about ABS brakes because it was quite a new thing back then. And the guy said, right, bit of a competition for you. We went outside. He says, got you a car, and we've disabled the ABS pump, so there's no. Basically, there was no buildup of pressure by the pump. It must have no. It disconnected the servo. That's right. The servo assistance wasn't there. It was a normal, old school brake system now with no servo assistance. And he said, right, competition. Let's see who could lock up the front wheels without the servo assistance. I think it was a Saab 9000 from memory. Anyway, we're charging around and everybody took turns, and I was one of the last to have a go. And I was used to driving vehicles that didn't have servo assistance. The old Suzuki Jeeps didn't have it. I used to have at that point I didn't actually have one. No, I bought it later on. But anyway, I was used to driving vehicles without servo assistance. And when it came to slam the brake, obviously we had an instructor in the vehicle with us to make sure we weren't too stupid. I slammed all on and sure enough was able to lock up the front wheels, and I skidded all the way across the car park with the front wheels locked up. Much to the amazement of all of my fellow students. It was great fun, actually. And the instructor was absolutely amazed that I was able to press the pedal hard enough to lock up the front wheels. And it was dry. It wasn't like it was wet. So yeah, I won the competition. Yes. Good job, Andy. So yeah, cool. Now then, Simon. That's some Xmas. It is. Hasn't he done a great job there? Daniel, thanks, Simon. Daniel, like I said, I'm still not done. Oh no, really? There's more? Looks like Christmas with the cranks at your place. Simon Rawl, have a nice shot of bourbon whiskey before bed. Works wonders. Should try that. We might have some kicking around somewhere, unless Mrs. Mechanic's drunk it all. Connor K, all that rain there. Do you get much flooding? There's been a lot of flooding around New Zealand actually in recent weeks. We had tremors flooding due to extreme rain in Lisbon yesterday. Holy crap. Pete Neves. Hi Andy and crew, sorry I'm late. Hit the like everybody. Absolutely hit the like. 23 of us in the workshop at the moment and only 19 likes. So 4 of you haven't yet clicked the like button. Now I didn't have time to make a coffee this morning, so I'm on we're back. This is getting a bit of a pain, isn't it, really? Will it work? No, it won't work. That's actually only works on my phone. So it is what it is. We're going to struggle on. So Jim did hit the like button, even being late traveling back from Indy to Virginia from a PRI race industry trade show. Very nice. I do like trade shows. There's very cool, a lot of cool stuff there. Kevin, Machine NZ, morning Andy and crew. Good morning, Kevin, and welcome back to my workshop, sir. Sorry, it's not Queenstown. It's the way it is. Now then, Daniel Bedell, I was the 11th like. Good man. Mike Adams, there is a pressure accumulator, there you go, but via my experience and from what I've heard from others, there's still no warning. Oh, steering and brakes needs the Hulk to operate them. Then that's questionable. It's not going to be ideal then, is it? Pretty important. Vijayant, Andy, the pie, you're right. Hang on, let's do the pie, holy crap. Okay, today's pie, let's get it in the can. We've got Irvin's Beast mince pie. Now, as time was a bit pushed this morning, and I was feeling pretty knackered, I haven't actually checked if we've done this one or not yet, but we'll find out. We're going to rate it, and if we end up we've already done it before, let's see if the rating's about the same. Okay, here we go, to camera. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect. Okay, there is the pie. This is only a mince pie, no cheese, no steak, nothing like that, just a basic mince pie, but it is called the Beast, and from previous experience, we know that the Beast wording really isn't applicable to Irvin's pies. It just isn't. There's much better pies out there. Anyway, to the pie warmer. Turn you around. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Okay, here we go. Hopefully we won't lose internet. God, honestly, the internet's crap today. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Right. In it goes. I'm actually quite hungry, believe it or not. This should be good. 23 minutes. Tick, 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 tick. It's like a little time bomb, isn't it? Right. What a catastrophe. You guys are great. Turn around, 3, 2, 1, boom. Okay. It's actually quite nice to have a bit of outside company for once, because it's been a bit... Man, yesterday I watched so many movies and TV stuff. It was unbelievable. Mrs. Mechanic put Roger Rabbit on. Yeah. I know. It's all right. I didn't really watch much of it anyway. It was just, I found it annoying, to be honest, all the cartoony stuff. Honestly, what kids watch these days, or used to watch even then, is unbelievably busy on the screen. Now, where do we get to? Pete Neves. The rain must be bad. It's locking up. Yeah, it stopped again now. Hopefully the old internet is going to just survive a bit longer for us. It was pretty touch and go for a while, to be honest. We had three dropouts, which is bad, really bad. And sometimes it doesn't reconnect. It's that bad. Now, Daniel, what did you think about Ivan, a pain in my Prius video? I don't remember it, Daniel. I'll have to watch it again. Hang on. I haven't even heated it up yet, lol. No, I know. I love that movie. Okay, well, I used to like it, but man, I couldn't watch it. Whether it was to do with what's going on in my head at the moment with the old illness, I don't know. Simon, making the mill up in the morning. God knows how I'm getting it over the grass and into the shed. Yeah, they're not light. They're not as heavy as this one wasn't quite as heavy as I thought it was, but they're very cumbersome, very top heavy. So be careful, Simon. Take your time. Daniel, my briskets are burning. Biscuits. Sorry. It's all right, mate. It's all good. So, what's the plan for this week? Well, I don't really know, to be honest. The schedule that I've set myself, assuming that I get a negative test on Monday, I've got this ROV to get finished. I have to get it finished. They need it back because the next one that I'm picking up is from a club that only has one ROV. So it's a critical repair. They don't have any spares to keep them going. And the vehicle's brakes all seized up and it was abandoned on the beach until they get it towed back in with the tractor. That's how bad the brakes were binding on. It's not good, is it? So I've got to get this one back. So I think the plan is up to Auckland on Wednesday, deliver this one back Wednesday evening, go and pick up the other one on the Thursday night, do a day at work, you know, head office, just doing admin, keeping myself to myself probably. And then Friday I'll come home, just taking it easy, not pushing myself too hard. Problem is, I have to get that second one done over that weekend. It's critical. It's got to go back up to Auckland, either the Monday or the Tuesday. So fingers crossed I'll be 110% by then, and I can just smash it out. That's the plan. Hopefully Mrs. Mechanic's better as well, so she can help me. So we've got to get it done, irrespective of weather conditions. I've got all the parts in stock. So yeah, you know, it's an emergency vehicle. It's got to be done. They need it back. Simple. So pressure on, Andy. Mike, I've caught glimpses of modern cartoons, but nothing replaced the classic Warner Brothers and Hanna-Barbera. Barbara. We all grew up watching. I agree completely. Things are very different now. The old cartoons, Roadrunner, that kind of stuff, very cool. I like those. As a kid, they were great. Daniel, Arcade Maroon. What? What's that? I've no idea what that is. Pete Neves. Andy, no. Did you get the vid? Andy, no. Did you get the vid? You sent me a video? I don't know. Oh, there's a lot of comments and stuff going on. I did post just for a laugh, a post on Instagram, which will obviously have filtered through to Facebook as well this morning, just for the live stream, just to promote it a little bit, just for a laugh. Not too sure what the comments are going to be, to be honest. But anyway, we'll see. Oh, the COVID. Yes, that's more like it. Yes, Pete, I did. I caught on Monday. I tested positive for COVID, and was still positive on Thursday. I haven't checked since. I'm just saving the tests for a bit later. Man, my internet's terrible. So I just didn't know what to expect, to be honest, and I still don't. Until I'm in the clear, anything could happen, I suppose. There could be a delayed side effect, bad reaction to it. Who knows? But at the moment, I don't feel too bad. I just feel really hot and sweaty, tired. Headaches are starting to subside. I've not taken any headache tablets since lunchtime yesterday, so they would have worn off by now. But just feel a bit in a daze. And Mrs. Mechanic said the same thing. You just feel a bit odd and slower, and balance is a bit you got a bit unsteady on your feet sometimes. You've got to take things a bit slower. You can't run around like an idiot like I used to do pre-COVID. So yeah, it's a bit odd, Pete. It really is, but it affects everybody differently, you know. Oh, there goes the rain again. So I'll just finish this cigarette and then we'll go and have a little look at the box that I did last Sunday for the scope and other test equipment and stuff. Obviously haven't been able to use it because I'm not in the South Island, but at least it's ready to go for when I go. And I've thought already of one little modification to make to the sub harness that I've made up. I can't show you that because that's made by a brand that I can't show you on the tube, unfortunately, but I've made that. But I am going to modify it slightly so I can put the amp clamp in the box as well and not under the seat. Pete, Andy, I tested plus 2 weeks later, but was well. So you went through it, you had all the symptoms and stuff showing negative, and then 2 weeks after you recovered, you then showed positive. Isn't that weird? That's really weird. Simon. Simon's had it twice now. Wow. You're over the worst of it now. I hope so. I really do. I've got a lot to get done. Mike Adams, I'm just curious what it is that makes Honda's small engines seem to be so much more dependable than others, even to the bikes, in my opinion and experience. Yeah, I mean, I used to have a little Honda C50 engine. Well, I converted it to a 70cc. That was incredibly reliable. That was in my go-kart, and that put up with a lot of abuse. And I'd often run it around with no exhaust on it. You'd think it'd burn the exhaust valve out, but it seemed to work fine. It's a bit noisy. Mum used to get upset. The neighbours used to get very upset. But the exhaust kept coming loose and it kept falling off, so who needs an exhaust? And then I had a Honda SS50. That was a cool bike. That was my first motorcycle, Honda SS50, and it was bloody good. It had a manual clutch, 5-speed. I think I converted that to a 70 as well. Put a 70 top end on it, and it went really well. Never had any real problems with it. Abused it. Actually went through the back of the shed with it one day when the rear brake failed. The pull rod fell off. Poor maintenance, I put it down to. I was on about probably lap 87 of the garden at the time, so I know there was a nice concrete pad at the back of the shed that I used to lock the back wheel up and slide onto the pad and then do a bit of a 360 burnout and then off I go again. And as I approached the pad this particular time and came to slam the back brake on, nothing happened. And I went straight into the back of the shed, all the way up to the handlebars, and took out quite a few of the bits of timber. It was interesting. I had to fix that. What a donkey. Anyway, I survived, as we do as kids. Oh my word. So yeah, Hondas, they're bloody good at making little engines. You're right there. Roger. Oh, a bit snotty. My son has now been driving full truck trailer units for 3 weeks. 13 to 14 hour days, 6 days a week, up to 58 tons. 14 hours a day. I mean, that's not all drive time. It can't be. You're not allowed to drive that much, but they're long days. Obviously, he's getting well paid for it. Oh, pardon me. But yeah, good on him. Stay safe. Tell him not to push himself too hard because, you can't drive safe when you're driving those kind of trucks. It begs belief, actually, how many bad truck drivers there are in New Zealand. And I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that there's a lot of immigrant drivers coming in now, which maybe aren't quite so well trained, I don't know, or have different morals to driving. Who knows? But there's some pretty shocking ones out there, and there's some that really stomp on. Mrs. Mechanic was following a logging truck the other day, she was telling me. He'd obviously had it chipped or whatever because it was, modified on the fueling system. Because when he was going up a hill, there was just massive plumes of jet black smoke coming out of both exhausts. And he was stomping. He was on a mission. She was doing about 103, 104, and he was pulling away from her. And the trailers were full of timber. And she said there was a lot of bark flying off the timber, so she backed right off. And the car that was behind her then overtook her, realised why she'd backed off, and then backed off themselves. And then the same thing happened to another car that pulled up in front to overtake them all, because they're all going, she was going a bit slower. And drivers, they like to go faster, don't they? Not slower. They don't like to be... Kiwi drivers don't like to be the one at the back. They like to be the one at the front. So they'll overtake you and then go exactly the same speed, often. And it's so annoying. What was wrong with just staying further back? There was no need to overtake. You're not going to get there any quicker. Anyway, my rant is over. Pete, Hondas are great motors, just very well made. I think they are. We did that autopsy on that car engine that Honda made. And it was bloody good, actually. It was well put together. Simon, it's not just that all Hondas are chain-timed engines. They just keep going and going. My first experience was with two little Honda engines. They both did fantastically well. Very good engineers, to be honest. Way ahead of the time. Now, I am getting a bit snotty, aren't I? It's a bit weird. Right. Sorry for the delay there. Let's take a quick look at that box. And then the pie should be ready. So here we go. I'll take you out of the tripod and put you in the big tripod. Turn you around. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Okay. Sorry, boring picture of the shot blasting cabinet. Right. You'll have to bear with me here, people. See how we're going to get on with this. I might have to do freehand. Let's see. I know. Still there. Right. Okay. So I can set you up on here and give you a bit more height so you can see into the box. There we go. Okay, hopefully you can see in there now. Right. This has been in the truck all week, so that's hence why it's got a bit of water on top, because the tray leaks. So we have, first of all, the top layer. Now the top there, this is where my the laptop that I use for the live stream, which is a little Microsoft Surface touchscreen, that just sits in here quite nicely. And if I take that out, I had immense amounts of fun making this. I'll take that out and put it over there. We have a fixed layer, which gives it the base. I didn't want anything too fixed in the box. I wanted to make it so it was easily removable, because of course, you know, I can use the box for other things then. All right, bear with me. So that's the flat layer. That's another one of those thick ones. And then down here, if I get the scope out, bear with me, I can show you this bit. So the scope itself, and I did mess up with this. I should have put the scope that way around, because then the wires can go straight out the hole. I put a hole down here. I'll show you that shortly. The scope fits in there, and of course the USB cable comes out the back. That's why it's got a bit of a gap there. And then you've got your four your four leads, you know, for your various channels that go off through the hole. The USB cable just runs around the back here and pops up and goes into the laptop. So that was easy. This area here, can you see that? Okay. I'm going to show you. Hang on, take out the tripod. There we go. So this area here is for all the other gubbins and bits and pieces. Obviously it was dead space, so that, well, if I put a recess in there, then I can put in there, for example, like the amp clamp and bits and pieces and spares, and, you know, because this will be the box that will be with me on the bike when I'm doing the testing. And the hull, obviously you've got to have some way of getting, I even wrote on there, hull, look, classic, a way of getting the wires out of the box. So what I did, I was a bit concerned about rain getting in and stuff, because the weather in the South Island can be pretty bad. So bear with me, because it's quite a large box. So on the back here, I just put like a little shroud. I'm going to put some silicone sealer in the top there, just to stop any rainwater getting down that little gap. It's about, I don't know, it's about a 3-4 mil, or maybe a 4 mil gap running down there, and then the wires just come out the bottom. I did think about putting a couple of holes here so I can put a zip tie around it and clamp them all together, but I thought, well, it doesn't need that really. For them to flow around freely is probably better for the wires. I don't want to put any stress points on it. And that was it. It took me probably about, I don't know, about 3 hours to attack, and I think it came out pretty well, or in all honesty. My only concern is with the laptop. This is the laptop there. Look, you've seen it before on the live stream. Is it might get hot, because obviously this is a sealed box. So I was thinking, oh man, do I need to put like a cooling fan on there, and you have to draw the hot air out and cool it down? But I think it'll be all right. I'll just do my samples in like 10-minute chunks, and then if the laptop needs to shut down for a while, then it can do, and I can take a break. But you know, that's it. That's the box. I think it'll work pretty well. If you've got any suggestions, do let me know. Oh, I did put some more foam in the lid as well, just to finish it off nicely. I think it came out pretty well, actually. I do. I think it's going to be a really useful box for in the future when I'm doing testing and things. So, fingers crossed. Not a bad deal. Box, 50 bucks. Foam, 158. What the hell, people, honestly. Right, turn you around again. 3, 2, 1, boom. Put you back in the little tripod. There we go. Oh, right. Where do we get to? I've got the wheel of death on my laptop. It's not good. There we go. Okay, so comments. Back to the comments. Pie's still ticking away in the warmer. Shouldn't be far off now. Now then. Oh, Sheldon. Until the rear main seal fails and they run out of oil, lol. You're talking quad bikes, aren't you? That's right. Roger, I had an XR200. I used to have an XR200 as well. RF VC head that weren't Honda reliability. My XR200, I remember I was on the North Yorkshire Moors for a ride out. I can't remember who I was riding with. It might have been my brother-in-law Dan. Probably was at that time. And we were heading south from like Stokesley way into the back of Helmsley, and we caught up, believe it or not, with, I think it was a 250 LC from memory, and there was this chick riding it, and I was on this enduro bike that was on full-blown motocross tires. Certainly the rear one was, because my brother used to race motocross and I used to get his old tires, so it was completely illegal road tire. motocross tyre on the road. It was dry, so I decided to take chase because she'd obviously seen us in a rearview mirror and thought, ooh, I need to go a bit faster because there's a lad on a trail bike catching me up, which is bad. So I remember just wringing the neck from this XR200, just hunting her down through the corners. And I remember the back of the bike, because it had such large knobbles on the tire, it was sort of stepping across on the tarmac, on the knobbles. It was drifting out on the back end as I was going in, and it was so much fun. And I did overtake the bike. I managed to get past her, just. Don't know how, really, because they're not particularly quick, the old XR200s. I think I was sort of out cornering her. She must have been a reasonably novice rider, to be honest, because on a 250 LC, she should have smoked me very easily. But I remember after that, she then turned off and went somewhere else. And after that, we continued home to Sheriff Hutton, where I used to live. And the bike developed quite a bad knock, the engine. It got quite knocky. And by the time I got home, the big end had blown. Yep, I'd thrashed it just a bit too much. So I had to take the engine out and strip it all down and get it fixed. I remember taking the crankshaft to Allen Mountains in York, and they fixed the crank for us. And then I put it all back together, and it was back on the road. And then I sold it. It's good. It's a good bike. Mike Adams, Roger, I'm a 22-year career trucker myself here in the States. Tell your son congratulations from me. It's an excellent career. Just being open-minded, willing to be patient, and keep it shiny side up. It's a huge responsibility driving a truck. You're seen, in my eyes at least, you're seen as the professionals on the road and should be setting a good example to driving etiquette. Now then, Embray, just found my way back here, Andy. Welcome back, Embray. Good job. Simon, can you not use a cable gland end in the holes? Well, that was the original plan, Simon, yes. And then I thought, I need a gland big enough to get the connectors through and stuff, and I hadn't got one here, and it was a case of make do with what I have here now. Hence why it's got what it's got. There maybe will be some kind of improvement in the future. Maybe I can get something further down the line, that will be more suitable. But for now, that's all I've got. Embray, where is Holly? Holly's in Auckland. She changed jobs probably about 6-9 months ago, and she's very, very happy doing that. I've given her a bit of time to get into that particular role. It's been quite demanding for her. It's been a major step up for her career. She's doing a fantastic job. She does want to come back and do some more filming. Absolutely, she's very keen on that. But this year's been a weird year. We tentatively plan to do some filming early December. Only a couple of weeks, well, almost about now, to be fair, like last weekend. But all of that sort of fell by the wayside. I got too busy with work. Then I had the South Island trip come up, and it all just got pushed back to next year, which is a real shame. Something will happen, I'm sure. Watch this space. She wants to come back, and I definitely need to come back. We need some more videos on the channel with Holly, basically, because she's great. She really is. But we need to have some stuff to do in the workshop that sort of works well with Holly helping out as well. Mike, I suggest getting some rubber grommets for your wire holes, or some rubber plugs to seal them when not in use. Good idea. Pete Neves, that crazy price for foam. Yes, they saw me coming, didn't they? Roger, cheers, Mike. Will do. He primarily removes stock, sheep, lambs, and cattle. Mr. Komarov there. Sheep, lambs, and cattle. Very good. Right, my pie should be about ready now. So we've done the box, done an update. We just need to do the pie, really, don't we? Let's have a little read of some of the comments of my post earlier. Oh, don't want Bixby, go away. Let's see what's going on here. I'm sure we've got some comments. Have we had any comments? Oh man, the internet's crap. Oh, I got 4 likes on the video. Look at that. Very good. What about, hang on, Facebook. Facebook seems to have gone mental on comments, so bear with me. I've got some lights there, look. Oh, there goes the pie. And Marion Gow. Now, Marion is a lady that I met down at the Brass Monkey in the South Island. It is trying to load a GIF at the moment, so I'll wait and see how that turns up. Oh, there we go. You ready? Here, in fact, maybe I should pre-watch it. I know what Marion's like sometimes. Hang on. Maybe I can't do that bit. Man, the internet is just... Oh, there you go. Yeah, we can do that. Headbanging. Very good, Marion. I like it. Good job. Thank you for that. Just a bit of fun, eh? Right. Very good. Right, there we go. I'm sure there'll be a few more come through later on. Okay, the pie is ready. Let's go and get the pie. Turn you around. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Here we go. Right. Little wander around the workshop again. I don't know how much I'm going to get done today. I'm feeling pretty knackered, to be honest. We'll see. Okay, the pie. Ow, that door's hot. Jeez. Okay. A few cracks. Whoa, it's a bit... Jeez, it's a bit warm. Holy moly, I'm going to have to do a dash with this one. Right. Crap. Oh, jeez, that was hot. Let's just stick it on there because it's probably slightly less full of nasty stuff. Okay, so we've got, taking a quick look, few cracks on top. It did feel quite soft to pick up. We've got a bit of a crack and failure around the side and where the lid's bonded down as well. The underside doesn't look too bad. We're going to leave that for a minute to cool down because, man, that's hot. It really is way too hot to eat. Okay, so back to the comments. We've got a few more come in now. Mike Adams. I had a couple of pieces of homemade pecan pie last night. Does that count for pie testing? Well, I think it should do, really. Pecan pie is very, very nice. I do like a bit of pecan pie. God, honestly, if my video could get any more pixelated, it would just be a blank screen. It really is atrocious. Let me show you. This is how bad I have to put up with. Look at that. Just terrible. There's a bit of a lag on the old video, isn't there? Oh, pardon me. Right, anything else come in? No, we're all good. Okay, let's stick that on there. Okay, the pie then. So for those that have just joined us, let's stick it on there for a minute. This is Irvin's The Beast, Bigger, Better, Bolder. Yeah. It's just purely a mince pie. There's no cheese in there. It's just lots of little tiny pieces, probably heaps of gravy. Chances are we might have a pie tester on our hands here. With the number of cracks it's already got, feels very soft. Contents are going to be quite fluid, no doubt. Could be a real problem. Now, also, talking of problems, the rain has picked up. So we may actually lose live stream at some point. So I've got to be a little bit more conscious. Roger sent a photo. Ooh, nice. Little piggies, look. Look at that bacon in the making. Isn't it great? Good job, Roger. Excellent. Mrs. Mechanic will look forward to that video, I'm sure. Now, I've got to keep that phone plugged in because that's doing my hotspot. I don't want it going flat. Okay, so, very quickly, as we always do, a little spin round. It has cooled down enough to touch now. It was bloody hot. Didn't really give it the 2 minutes rest, did we, in the pie warmer this time? I was a bit eager, but we've got a fair few cracks going on. Look at that. So I think we'll start here. We'll see how we get on with that. Wish me luck. I don't want to burn my mouth. Mouth is already struggling at the moment, so if it is too hot, we're going to slow down a bit. Oh. Okay. Oh! Jim K. Morning, Jim. Jim says, how's the missus? She's all right. She does seem to be getting better now. Mrs. Mechanic has been hit a bit harder than I have with the old big C. She tested positive on, I think it was Thursday. And Thursday, Friday, she was pretty bad, to be honest. I mean, I say pretty bad. She was just really groggy and full of snot and headache and sore throat and a cough. I think it has affected her breathing a little bit as well. She seems a bit more wheezy now. But yesterday she seemed a bit better. So I'm just keeping an eye on her, to be honest. It's not good, is it? I'm glad to get home. And I mean, I don't think I'll be travelling anywhere until I know that she's 100%. I need to be here for her. You know? Sorry, but that's the way it is, work. So there you go. That's the internals. We can see a little bit of the mince poking out now. It is quite hot. Huh. You need a cot in your shop for rainy days like this. Nothing like a nap on a rainy day, Mike. Honestly, if there was a camping thingy down here, a little camping bed on the floor, I would be straight in it and I'd be asleep within 5 minutes. I can guarantee it. I did fall asleep a couple of times yesterday on the sofa. And there was one day, I think it was Friday morning, I just didn't want to get out of bed. I was just knackered, and I think, oh, that's right, Marmite had got up middle of the night to go outside, and we have to let her out. So it was about 4:30, 5 o'clock, let her out. And the little turnip decided to go on a little mini adventure around the garden. It wasn't just to go, I guess, to go outside for a wee and come back in. She just buggered off for like 15 minutes, and there's me, blurry-eyed, knackered, trying to call her back into the house, and she would have none of it. I didn't even know where she'd gone. And I almost gave up, to be honest. I'd already closed the front door, went around to the back just to double check again at the back, see if she was at the back of the house, and there she was, sprinting. I saw her sprint under the carport and turn around to the front of the house. Obviously been up to no good, and she knew she'd been up to no good, because when she came in, she shot past me, knowing I was not happy, and jumped back on the bed, soaking wet. Turnip, that's what I call it. Oh, we've got a drip on my phone. So, proof of the pudding is here. I can definitely taste what's going on with this pie. I have not lost my taste at all, which is good. Does it taste good? It actually tastes pretty good, you know, but I'm hungry. Okay. We need to start scoring this. Don't get too carried away with the eating side of it. Okay, so taste, stroke, flavour. Well, this is sort of this is the contents. This is the mince meat itself. It tastes all right. It's a bit bitty. Definitely have better mince pies. I'm going to give it a 6. I think 6 has been reasonably favourable for it. Structure poorly partners. We're going to leave that for now. There was a few cracks at the start, so it's definitely lost a couple of points for that. Let's see how the pie performs structurally during the rest of the test, and then we'll give it a score later on. Runnability test. Well, I need to just really get to about halfway before we do that, so hang on. Almost. Okay, here we go. Oh, hang on. 30 seconds, quite warm still. 30 seconds, 45 degrees. Can you see any movement? It's actually doing pretty well. Bearing in mind there's no cheese in there, so it's not going to help to bond the whole thing together. That's a pretty good 45 degrees and there's nothing going on, so that is a pass. Believe it or not, that's a pass. So runnability test, it has passed. It gets 10 for that. Good job, nothing was moving at all. Meat quality, what do you think? There's plenty of meat in there. There's more meat than I thought there was going to be. I thought there would be like more gravy stuff going on, but it's a little bit chewy. Meat quality, pretty average. I'm going to give that a 5. I think the meat quality can be massively improved. Pie to crust ratio. Okay, let me get rid of that bit. There we go. Okay. So this is the way you look at the contents versus the volume of contents versus the volume of pastry. And you can see here, the top of the pie massively sinks down. And that was evident when we first took it out of the pie warmer as well. And in fact, even when it was cold. There is a reasonable volume. I would say it's probably about 50-50. There should be more contents than there is pastry on a pie, in my opinion. There you go. So I think we've got about a similar kind of volume there. If not, slightly more pastry on a cross section, at least. There, look, you see we've got some pretty thick sides going on here. The base is pretty thin. That's about 3-4 mil. About 4 mil there. And similar for the lid as well. And there's no puff pastry on this pie, which is a good thing in my opinion. So I think contents could be more for this particular pie. Although there isn't a massive amount of pastry, if you know what I mean. It's just, I don't know. It's because it's been squashed. You know, the lid's sunk down. So I'm going to give it, I'm going to give it a 5. I'm going to give it a 5 for that. Now, availability logistics. Irvin's pies. These came from a dairy. You can get them at supermarkets. You can buy them online through the supermarkets. You can't buy them from Irvin's online, I don't think. You've got to go through the supermarket to get them. Oh, first burp. Pretty readily available. I'm going to give them an 8. Oh, pardon me. A hiccup. Does that count for anything? Now, pastry taste rating. Sorry, I have to keep checking. I shouldn't do really. Should have done this a few times now. Okay, let's grab a bit of pastry. It's a bit doughy, if I'm being honest. So, no weird aftertaste, just a bit doughy. It's not ideal. 6. They're going to get a 6. Still tasty when cold. It's not cold yet. We've got to wait for that one. Packaging design. Okay, well there you go. It's got a window, so you can see what you're buying. The plastic is perforated. There's little tiny holes. You can just see it in the blue up there. Look, little tiny holes so the pie can breathe. I imagine that's because they put them in pie warmers at a lot of the dairies, and the pie would just sweat, go all soggy if that wasn't the case. Yeah, a bit of work gone on. I mean, it looks okay. They are colour coded. So the red one, you know, is mince. 100% New Zealand beef, which is obviously good. And they give you a lot of information on the back. So it's taken a while to put that thing together. I would say they're going to give them an 8. Let's give them an 8 for that. I'm not going to get too bogged down with scores today. Packaging design is 8. Now, recyclable score. It says on the back, dispose of carefully. That's the little guy with the next to the bin there, look. So it's not recyclable. You've got to put it in the bin. So I'll give them 1 for saying you've got to put it in the bin, because they're at least telling us what's going on, but nothing else. It's not recyclable, really. So we'll give them 1 for that. Post-pie heartburn. 2 burps so far, so who knows? We'll see if that gets any worse. And right, we need to eat some more pie. Structure Folly Partners. Now, pie server attractiveness. I'm trying to think where the hell I got these pies from. Where did I buy these pies from? I think they were local. Yes. I'm going to give her a 7. I'm going to give her she should be very happy with that, actually. I'm going to give her a 7 for that. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, Simon, didn't know if you could get them in New Zealand, but pecan maple Danish pastry, so nice warm with a cuppa. Ooh, that sounds good. I'll have to try and find out if we can get those here. B-spin. Is that rain? I thought it was static. No, it is rain that keeps coming in and out. Daz, 323323. Morning, Andy and crew. Those pies are terrible. Thanks, Daz. I'm just doing the review for you guys to save you the pain of buying an Irvin's pie. Probably get sued now. Mike, I think sometimes these injuries and illnesses slow us down. It's just God's way, but forcing us to take a break, whether we want to or not. Probably right. You are. The only problem for me is whatever I don't get done this week has to get done next week, and there's also stuff to get done next week. So you get that compound problem. So I like to try and keep ahead, you know, or at least keep doing some things so that it's not too bad later on. Oh, some more news. Do you remember I mentioned to you that we're going to be getting a little Suzuki Jeep? A little new Jimny, the boxy shaped Jimny that's only been released in, I suppose, in the last year, I think, really, the current version. Well, it's arrived in New Zealand. I got a phone call the other day from Suzuki New Zealand saying, we've got your little Jimny. Should be expecting to get it at the dealership in probably about a week. Are you ready for it? It was scheduled for January, but I think it might arrive just before Christmas. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? So we're trying to get all that organised as well at the moment. Everything's in place. Just got to fire through another deposit and get things signed off, and we're away. Woohoo! New car. Ready for the trip next year. Be good. Right, where are we at? Some more bitey stuff going on. Here we go. It's the kind of pie, just as an overview, you know, how I'm feeling about this pie. If you were really hungry and it's all that was available and it was already heated up, you'd buy one. It sort of fills a gap, ticks a box, but it's not memorable, it's not nice, it's not, ooh, I quite fancy another one of those sometime. There's none of that going on. It's just pie, you know, it's bland, it's basic. Sure as hell doesn't warrant the name The Beast, that's for sure. Now, Pete Neves, Andy, wish we had some of your rain here in California. Feel free to some of it. Man, is it, the last month, it has done nothing but rain. The weather's been so changeable. It's pretty much rained every day. There's been very, very few days that I can remember we've not had rain. So, it didn't get any worse on the structure side of things. It sort of survived. We knocked 2 points off at the start for all those cracks and stuff. So I'm going to give it an 8. I feel like it should be a 7, but anyway. I'll give it an 8. It's sort of hung in there. Still tasty when cold. A mince pie. This one. Not your sweet mince pie, but a savoury mince pie. If it was in the glove box and it was cold and I was hungry, would I eat it? Yeah, I probably would. Would it taste nice? I think it would taste like food. It would just be a volume of food to satisfy hunger. I don't know. 4, 3. I think a 3. I think the taste of the pastry would be a bit weird cold as well with this one. Ooh. Mr. Ant. So, post-pie heartburn, 2 burps so far, so they're down to 8. That might change later on. And stuffability score. It's down, it's done. Am I stuffed? Not overstuffed, not really hungry. Am I satisfied? Not at all. I don't go, that was a nice pie, good job. No, that's happening to me at the moment. But it's quashed the hunger. I'm going to give it an 8. I don't think it was that great. I think an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We've got all the scores in. Let's add them up together. Here we go. Right, bear with me because things are a bit slower this morning. Dum 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 dum. Oh, this would be a test for my brain, won't it now? Right, if I get it wrong, you'll let me know. Okay, so we've got 14, 24, 29, 34, 42, 48, 51, 59, 60, 68, 76, 83. Pretty sure that's right. Let me know if I'm wrong. All right, so we've got 6, 8, 10, 5, 5, 8, 6, 3, 8, 1, 8, 8, 7. 83. Okay, there's our little magnetic strip. We're getting good at this, aren't we? Irving's. The Beast. Mince. And it's 210 grams. And it got 83. Okay, let's head over to the board, the scoreboard, you want to call it, the list, and we'll see how well it did. 83 is not a particularly good score, people. Hey, hang on, the cupboard's still open. Bear with me. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. There we go. Right, 83 on this side. Oh, there we are, look. We've got one already. Must have known. So, did I do an Irving's The Beast mince before? No, we've got an Irving's potato top. The Beast steak and cheese. It actually did better than the steak and cheese. Who would have thought that? 6-pack steak and cheese, they're crap. Okay, nothing else there. I'm pretty sure it won't be on this side. Irving's bacon and egg. I found plastic in the pie. Nice. That wasn't long ago, actually, was it? Irving's steak and cheese, 93. Irving's the beef bacon and cheese, 94. I'm pretty sure that's as far as Irving's get. Yeah, they sort of peter out at this point. 94 is the highest they've ever scored. Okay, so we hadn't done the pie before. And now it's another one on the leaderboard. Irving's the Beast mince pie got 83. Nothing to write home about. Well done, Irving's. Lots of room for improvement, right? Okay, back to the bench, because we're not far off finishing off this live stream. Turning around, 3, 2, 1, boom. Now, you know what happens when I finish the live stream? Andy's got to do some work. You're not even level. What's going on there? That's terrible. Right, there we go. That's a lot better. Hey, I was watching James May in Italy. His little mini-series of his trip around Italy, which was good fun. And we noticed, and I don't know if you got how much of James May stuff you guys watch, but Mrs. Mechanic and I noticed that James was starting to do this a little bit with his head when he was on camera, which is a bit worrying. Oh, I wonder if he's got Parkinson's disease or something. You know, what's going on, James? You're not well? And Mrs. Mechanic, after we'd watched the last episode, she did some Googling, and he has started this disorder where he, I can't remember what she called it, but he is starting now to just get a bit of a shakes going on. And as a result, he said that he doesn't think he's going to be doing much more stuff to camera, which is going to be a terrible shame. Top bloke, Mr. May. Provided many of us with a lot of entertainment really good quality entertainment over the years. And I regularly go onto YouTube and try and find one of his old Manlab videos or the Reassembler. They're always good ones. And most of those have been taken down now, unfortunately, from YouTube because they were on private channels. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something about the way he presents. I just like it. I like his voice, the way that he talks. He's quite sarcastic. He's just a very, very good presenter. So yeah, James, if you're watching this, I hope you get better. I hope you can recover. But if you can't make any more videos, it's all right. You've done enough. Take some rest. Sad, isn't it? I've grown up with that guy on TV, doing dumb stuff. Captain Slow. End of an era, isn't it? I know Hammond's struggling. He can't remember anything these days. And as for Clarkson, well, he's farming now. He's doing a good job still. He's hanging in there. I always thought that Clarkson would be the one that would fail, that would fall over first, but he's still hanging in there. Smoked 1 million cigarettes and still going. Where do we get to? Hang on, I've just got to catch up. Mike, do you ever start getting scared if you're doing an automotive or any other kind of repair that seems to be going too well because you're fearing a possible catastrophic end? I always get wary when a job does go too well. Yeah, especially if I finished it and I sort of reflect on it going, that was just a bit too easy. I was expecting, this to happen or that to happen or to find this problem. Yeah, whether it's intuition or what, I don't know, but yeah, just doesn't sit right sometimes. You're quite right. John, Andy, you must try a 4 and 20 pie sometime. I will, John. I'll do that. Pete Neves, I wish that you and Mrs. Mechanic get better soon. We're on the road to recovery. We are getting better day by day, but man, it's knocked 7 bells of shit out of both of us, to be fair. But like I said to Mrs. Mechanic, could be a hell of a lot worse. One of us could be in hospital right now, and we're not. We're just helping each other and getting through it. It's not that bad. It could have been a lot worse. It really, really, really could. So you count your blessings, right? You just think, well, for me, I've been lucky, and I think that's all it is. It's just, it's the luck of the draw. I had no idea what to expect, how bad it was going to get. Mike Bozanski, moving to Italy for work in a month or two. I'm jonesing. Oh, for a Kajiva elephant. Yes, Kajivas. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of Kajivas, to be honest. John Nuttall, hit the like button, crew. Thanks, John. Connor K. What does Connor have to say? A few weeks ago, your live stream had the word pie in the title, immediately following several how-to videos loaded up from New Zealand electric pie machine manufacturers. Target audience and keywords. Wow! Buy your own pie making machine whilst watching an Andy Mechanic live stream. That's pretty cool. Yeah, advertising these days. The algorithms catch up on anything that you put, don't they? I wonder what they'll find this time. I wonder if they'll recognise the COVID test that I put on the thumbnail. I don't know. Oh, Benjamin Schmidt commented on my post. Oh my God. Stop talking so much. What? Funny guy. What else we got? That's about it really on there. Now, so plan of attack this week. If all goes to plan, I will be fixed. I'll get a negative test. I'll feel 100%. I'll get the ROV that I'm currently working on finished and back to Auckland on Wednesday. I'll pick up the other one on Thursday and I'll be home for Friday. And then next weekend, I've got to smash the service repairs out on that one. and get it back up to Auckland the following week. It might even be a 1-day run. Up to Auckland, drop it off, come home, finished. We'll just have to wait and see how things pan out. Don't know. Looking forward to getting those calipers finished though, wherever they are. They're over there. Mrs. Mechanic got them all cleaned up. They just need the new pistons putting in, the seals, and painting. And then I can pardon me. Then I can reassemble them. Sorry, I've been a bit quiet today. My voice is a bit odd, a bit snotty, a bit slow. Sorry. We're back. That was the 4th dropout on this live. What is going on this time around? It's horrific. So, people, we've got 23 people in the workshop, 29 likes. How is that even possible? Honestly, thank you, people. If any of you that are watching haven't yet liked the live stream, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whichever you prefer. Oh, hang on, we've got something else coming. Waffle, waffle, waffle. And she's obviously awake, so I have to go. Okay, crew, thank you again. Oh, Simon, what's Simon say? Simon says, have you ever noticed how a nearly... Okay, the internet is trying to tell us something here. It keeps dropping out, so I'm going to sign off. Thank you all for joining me on this milestone live stream, the only one I've ever done with COVID, and hopefully next Sunday I'll be free again of it. It'll have gone. It'll be in the history books. So from Lord Andy, I'll see you next time, crew. Cheers. Over and out. Oh, thanks again, Mike. Do appreciate it.